We're going to meet Dick and his wife, Jan. Dick was a pioneer in selling and repairing computers with his business TechServe. And he also spent 30 years collecting antiques that are related to technology. Hey, hey.
Hi.
How you doing? You Jan?
I am Jan.
I'm Mike. We meet Jan, it's a super sweet lady. She takes us inside.
I'll introduce you to Dick, my husband, who managed to collect all this stuff.
This guy's collection is supposed to be the mother lode of early 20th century technology. Not just computers. Apparently, he's got everything.
There's my husband, Dick.
Hey, hey.
In 30 years, Dick has decorated every nook and cranny of TechServe with 20th century technology leading up to the Apple computer. We were the biggest independent Apple computer dealer in America.
Really?
We
For
were
how many years?
We were the Apple store before there was an Apple store.
No
I'll be
kidding.
darned.
He started out fixing TVs for all the people in his neighborhood when he was a kid.
So you watched him go through all this?
Oh, well, it was in my apartment. I would come home from work. There'd be guys walking back and forth using my bathroom.
And before you know it, we had a little side business going of fixing Macintosh computers. And it just grew by itself. We expanded year after year until we got this space, which is enormous space.
Looks big.
And our lease is up.
Okay.
And the world has changed. These changes have been pretty profound. First of all, computers. They've become appliances. Very reliable appliances. They do everything that most people want right off the bat, and they keep doing it. Couple that with the fact there's 6 Apple stores in walking distance of us now.
So you guys are closing after all these years?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping our corporate division and small business division, but the store, not a good economic model for us anymore.
I can't tell you how many people have been coming by the store since they've heard it was going to close. Former employees who said, thank you for giving a clueless 17-year-old his first chance.
Yeah.
TechServe became a really great hangout. Kids would come every day after school and they'd get a Coke from the vintage Coke machine. People would come to just hang out and people watch. We've had marriages and babies come out of TechServe.
Working in a small business is like living in a small town. Everybody knows each other, and you're all growing old together. The hardest part about closing the retail side of his business is saying goodbye to his employees.
It's sad to close this chapter. It's sad. Plus, Dick has always been an insane collector of everything.
So you've got a lot of stuff that you've collected.
Let's go see.
Okay, yeah, we'd love to.
show us.
All right. Frankie and I have picked chicken coops, pig sheds, barns, attics.
I'm gonna take you down to Dick's man cave.
All right.
This is kind of nice. There's no bat crap, pig crap, raccoon crap, possum crap, and vulture crap, mouse poop. It's just easy peasy. There's just none of that. Whoa, Frank, look at this.
Whoa. So he takes us downstairs to his conference room. It's like he's converted into his own personal museum.
I love this one. Look at this
Oh,
one, the
aren't
orange
they-
one.
aren't they
Look at that, Frankie. Pick that up.
beautiful?
Look at the dials on here.
Is
What's that?
That's an Ericsson phone.
Design and technology have always gone hand in hand. This is an Ericsson phone. Collectors call them Cobra phones. What's the value of that?
$85.
$85. 60.
75.
70.
All right.
It's a good little piece.
First sale.
All right, now I gotta ask you, I'm kind of a microphone guy. This thing grabbed me as soon as I walked in the door.
The NBC.
That's probably the most famous microphone in graphic art.
Pretty substantial piece.
Yeah, in our history, in our photographic history, you see so many images of those classic microphones.
Sinatra. And
Yeah.
This is the ultimate.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
That's the mic.
The mic.
Check this out. Look.
It's from NBC.
Oh, it says NBC on it. Okay.
Yeah, that's
so it's
it.
got some history.
Yep.
RCA.
And it's got this groovy record that could be
I
yours
love that
with
record.
it. It's
That thing's getting down.
Johnny Ray.
I thought it was David Bowie for a second.
Yeah.
Pretty groovy. They're ribbon mics.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
There's a ribbon suspended between a magnet, and when the metal ribbon vibrates from sound, it produces an electric current in a coil. Ribbon microphones. To this day, people collect them not just for their aesthetic beauty, but for their sound. That ribbon had a very warm sound, particularly for vocals. A sound that you really can't replicate. All the microphones today are like condenser microphones.
What are you thinking on this? Or are any of these something that you would sell?
Yeah, this goes anywhere from 17 to 4,000.
So how about like these two? Get the NBCs together. Let's put the little brother behind
Well,
them
we
there.
had 700 on this one.
I'd like 2 for this.
$2K for that.
Yeah.
So how about 2,500 for the two?
I've never bought any microphones of this caliber because the opportunity has never presented itself. But being around musicians in Asheville, having a store there now, you know, I can appreciate stuff like this. What do you value? Let me ask you this. What do you value this at?
You got the record too.
The record too.
The record comes into
Wow.
the deal too. Yeah.
Man, Dick's seeing all this stuff flying
Wow.
by.
This is a beautiful record. It's
I'm shaking your hand.
I'm singing.
Since you're throwing everything in, I'm shaking your hand. These RCA mics from the 1930s to the 1940s are very iconic microphones. When a collector is looking at a microphone like this, they're not just thinking about the great moments in music, they're thinking about the incredible moments in history. Tell me about this. Tell me about this piece.
This is a one-of-a-kind homemade radio. In the early days of radio, people very often made their own radio from schematics. This is an example of somebody's craftsmanship. I think it's a piece of art. Now kids are into the coding and the computer, but back then people actually built physical things themselves. People would get directions to how to build a radio. They'd collect these parts and then think, now how would I put this together to express myself? I think somebody wanted to create something beautiful, and they did. That radio I think is a very personal expression. Even the wires, you made sure the wires are meticulously bent, so
Yeah.
it's a treat to the eye. They loved it so much, they built it in a glass case, which I think is just great.
It's showing off their craftsmanship.
That's what it is, yeah.
Have you ever fired it up?
No, if you want a radio that works, there's a store down the block called Radio Shack. No, I'm not an advocate of making things work.
That's what you do.
No, I'm sorry, making antiques work. Because when you do it, you alter them. You modernize them. You're putting in new components. The whole idea to me of something that's antique is that it's history.
So what do you value that at?
$850.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful radio I own.
He's as proud of it as the guy that built it. That's a price that I'm gonna have to think about. Tell me about this. Where'd you get this at?
I have no idea when I bought it what it was. That's why I love buying things that I don't know what they are.
Sometimes Dick would buy something and he's like, I don't know what this does.
Like a little mechanical do-it. That's my favorite thing. I'll get that, and I'll try and figure out, and eventually I'll get there.
It's impressive.
It's a steam motor.
What do you gotta have for it?
200.
200, and you're at 850 on that.
Why don't you give him a deal on the two pieces
no,
to get?
Yeah, let me stand over by you. I'll stand over by you.
We are trying to
I'll stand over by
move
you.
these things.
How about 950? That's giving you 8 on this and 150 on that.
Yes, sold.
You got it.
All right.
Now they're taking us around the block to their apartment to see the rest of their collection.
Well, welcome to our happy home.
This is the first time I've ever been in a New York City apartment.
They're all like
I
this.
hope
They're
you
all this big.
This is pretty big.
enjoy it.
This is pretty
Pretty
spacious.
big.
No, they are not this big usually.
The first thing you notice when you walk into this loft is a wall of radios.
We met at a radio station originally, WVAI. We worked there.
So that started the radio
Yes,
collection.
that started our radio
Well, that was an
collection.
inspiration.
So the 3 radios that stand out here the most are the Cadlan radios.
Yes.
Cadlan is the material that it's made out of. A lot of people confuse Bakelite and Cadlan. Bakelite came out in the early 1900s, and it wasn't until the late 1920s that Cadlan came out. Now, Cadlan offered a lot more colors, the process was more refined, and what basically killed Cadlan was lucite. The best one you've got, the one with the white knobs, that Cadlan,
Yeah.
I think the retail on that's like $600. When you look at these Cadlan radios now, you're blown away by the colors and the shapes, but imagine looking at them back then. They were state-of-the-art, they were futuristic, the red, the blues, the greens, the butterscotch. You can see how the color here
Sure.
is much brighter than here.
It's pretty though, isn't it?
Pretty the way it is.
So it's $600 retail on this. Would you do $450? That
Yeah.
leaves me a little bit of room on that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Today, the centerpiece of anyone's home is this massive big screen TV, but back then, there was a Cadlan radio.
Well, this was so
So
fun.
nice to meet you. So nice to meet you.
Really nice.
Good luck with the move.
And the downsizing.
You know, they've got a big job ahead of them. You know, they're going to have a lot of stuff to move out of there.
Dick, good luck.
Hey.
This is going to be another chapter in their life.
You know, I'm sad about closing the store, and I'm sure I'll miss it. But I guess nothing lasts forever. Things change, times change, and I'll change.
See you later!
Bye. And I think we've been a great part of our community. I'm very proud of that.
That was fun,
That's it.
right?